Hi guys, 51 here. I'm doing a video about Captain America Infinity War. So I'm going to try him out here. I'm going to put a team together. I'm putting in Cull Obsidian because he grants a plus crit buff here. And then I'm putting Human Torch because he makes Captain America's bleed debuffs last like an extra second. And then with that, I'm just going to jump in. This is against, Realm of Legends Winter Soldier. This is only a rank 3 4-star. Certainly not, an uber champ, but he is at max sig because I've gotten this 4-star many, many times. Now the trick with Cap is that his signature, his synergies don't really help him. His synergies help his teammates. But what really helps Cap is once he's duped, then for each different class that's in your party, he gets a unique bonus. So having a mystic and a cosmic and a tech, those grant extra abilities. And so quickly in the fight, you'll see how those work. As soon as I parry, you'll see a whole bunch of debuffs. Boom, weakness, armor break, petrify. All of those come from his signature abilities and having different people in his team. So his base damage is pretty good because he's a science champ. He also has a passive deflect ability, which kind of like Ant-Man means that he doesn't take as much damage as a lot of other champs. So Cap's a pretty tough quester and good for fighting bosses. But there's some tricks to him that make him have some really monster damage output. And he can also be really handy against some regen and some evade type champs. The way that he gets kind of special, I'm trying to show right here. Let's watch this damage. So as a rank 3 4-star, a special 3 is not going to do that much damage, right? 11,700, that's pretty solid. And here's why. See the little blue shield thing? That's called a Kinetic Charge. So the one that he got there actually just came from his special 3. But see the ones that just jumped up there? Now he's got 5 of them. So every time he blocks, he has a 50% chance of gaining one. Every time he parries, he's got a 100% chance of getting one. And then actually, if he gets hit, he's got a small, like a 15% chance of getting one. So the trick, get those up to 5, hit with a heavy, that creates a fury. And the fury, it gets multiplied by however many of those charges you have. So if you've got 5 of those kinetic charges, and then you hit with a heavy attack, well now for even this lowly, rank 3 4-star, that's a plus 1,500 fury. And if you can follow that up with a special 2 right away, you can get 25,000 plus damage with this guy. So you can imagine with like a pretty jacked up 5-star, that's going to be like Star-Lord level damage, like 70, 80, 100,000 damage potentially. I don't know because I don't have one. I really want a good strong one. But just kind of showing some of his gameplay. His special 1 causes a bleed that lasts 3.5 seconds. It's not the strongest bleed in the world, but it's certainly not bad. It also reduces defensive ability accuracy by 100%. And so since every time you parry, you're putting on a petrify, since I have a tech champ in my team, well, the petrify does the same kind of thing. And so you can, if you add it doing his special 1 when you already have a couple of those petrifies stacked, then you could be getting into negative defensive ability accuracy zone. That means like reversing regeneration. I think. I've never tried it. I'll try it here soon. But there's some really fun potential here. But basic gameplay technique that I figured out for him that I seem to have a lot of fun with is try to build up those kinetic charges, hit with the heavy, then boom, hit with that special 2. There's 23,000 damage from a rank 3 4-star. I'll take that all day long. So block a few hits and go to town. So the special 1 does have the bleed debuff that it puts on. Special 2 also puts a stun on, and the stun also scales with the number of those kinetic charges that you have. Now, even when you only have 1 of those kinetic charges, as soon as you've got at least 1, then he gets kind of an across-the-board buff. So right now you can see his base damage not super great. But if he just gets one charge, now I've got one. Now the damage goes up. It's like a plus 300 attack rating. It's like a plus 300 crit rating and defensive ability. He goes up in like physical protection, stuff like that. So you always want to try to have at least one or two of those kinetic charges. Those don't scale. It's just an on or off. Those sort of passive bonuses. But then the way to convert it into something that's not passive is to hit with that heavy. It converts it into a scaling fury, and then take advantage by immediately following it up with a special. And that's the end of the fight, but heck, I got him down 40% just messing around. So let me know what you think. Good luck. All right, I'm going to try a couple other fights to try to check out that regen reversal. So first, I'm just doing this new event quest. I'm fighting against a master level magic, so she's kind of nothing too crazy. Let's see, her limbo did not work because I had a couple of those petrifies on. So that's kind of nice. Short fight, so it didn't really show it. So luckily, and there's also a Wolverine coming up, and then there's a Sabretooth coming up. So I'll show those fights and kind of see how that goes. Okay, so here's the Wolverine fight. So we all know what Wolverine's regen looks like. So I'm hoping that I can put a couple of those petrifies on and then hit him with a special one, and then that should do a minus 100% on his regen, and then I think it's a minus 25 for each one of those petrifies. So that should put him into the negative regeneration mode. So I've got up to 2 stacks. There's the special one. He hasn't done the regeneration. Oh, there it is. Yep, he's going negative. Not healing him at all. Which I can think of a lot of applications for that in this game. Anywhere where think about Realm of Legends Wolverine, you could just turn his regen completely around, and so it becomes a degen. That's kind of nice. So I think the last one is a slightly stronger Sabretooth, like a boss level. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Because Sabretooth, he stacks up his regens. So I'll just hit him with a bunch of hits. He can, stack up kind of an unlimited number, as far as I'm aware. I can get him well up into the 20s, and then try to hit him with. And it already looks like the regen is hurting him rather than healing him. That's interesting. Got 20 up. Okay, so now it's healing him. Boom. Big damage. Still healing him because I didn't use the special one. Wow, just 2 of those petrifies puts him into negative healing, which it shouldn't, doing the math, but I'll take it. And then, of course, I screw up right at the end of the fight and lose. So, just out of spite, I come back and punish Sabretooth with Cull Obsidian. I'll do another one on Cull later, especially to see what he looks like after his debuff that everyone talks about. But this is why I love Cull. I'll just kind of... Should be a very, very short fight. Thump. And pounded flat. Goodbye. All right, well, thanks, guys.